Peugeot's Partner van has much to offer in this much improved Euro 6 guise, with efficiency, technology and practicality to rival class leaders in the compact van segment. It's now smarter looking than before and gets some extra high-tech, but the main news lies beneath the bonnet, with a fresh range of clean and frugal Euro 6 Blue HDI diesel engines. On paper at least then, the prospects are promising. As ever, motive power for this van comes primarily from a 1.6 litre diesel engine, but there's quite a choice when it comes to the way you get it. From the launch of this revised model in mid-2015, this French brand continued to offer the older Euro 5 75 brake horsepower and 92 brake horsepower HDI versions of this power plant. But the company's future sales emphasis clearly lies with the more advanced Blue HDI version of this unit. This 100 brake horsepower power plant is offered with either a 5-speed manual gearbox or the brand's ETG6 clutchless automatic manual setup. That's ideal for urban users and city-based buyers. We'd say it's well worth stretching to the Blue HDI engine, and not only for its greater efficiency. Torque, pulling power through the gears, gets quite a boost with the new technology. So while the older Euro 5 75 brake horsepower and 92 brake horsepower HDI variants can only manage 185 newton meters and 215 newton meters of torque respectively, the Blue HDI 100 model boosts that figure to a far more usable 254 newton meters. That's pulling power you'll really notice when pulling out to pass that swaying Arctic up front. For what it's worth, acceleration from rest is usefully rapid too, the Blue HDI 100 model needing 11.8 seconds for the 0 to 62 mile an hour sprint, making it a second faster than the 90 brake horsepower HDI variant. The top speed with the more modern engine is 101 miles an hour. We should point out that you don't have to have diesel power in your Partner. From launch, this French brand chose to update its ageing 1.6 litre VTI 98 brake horsepower petrol unit to Euro 6 status, so that engine was initially offered in this improved model for the few operators likely to want it. An even rarer sight on our roads is the clever all-electric version. This improved second-generation Partner model gets what Peugeot calls a more assertive design, with the front end now emphasised by this chrome-framed grille with the Peugeot lion at its centre. There's a restyled front bumper too, and the result, the designers hope, is to give this vehicle a greater sense of robustness. As ever, there are two Partner body styles to consider, this standard L1 version and the longer L2 derivative. Avoid entry-level trim and your Partner will come with what the brand calls its multi-flex modular cabin, a configuration which allows the outer passenger seat to be folded flat so that longer items can be poked through from the cargo area. Now, the other benefit of the Multiflex package is that it includes this useful middle seat so that a third passenger can be accommodated if necessary. Now, it's features like these that'll make this van an easier proposition if you're needing the kind of mobile office functionality that many owner-drivers now seem to want. These people will probably like the idea of stretching to a top-spec model like this one, which features what is probably the main change in this improved model's cabin, the 7-inch touchscreen and upgraded DAB audio system. Time to focus on practicality. So as usual, let's start here at the business end. As expected, the rear doors open through 180 degrees, and once you've lumped your items over the relatively low 584mm high loading lip, you'll find a cargo area that's very comparable to the one you get in an equivalent Ford Transit Connect, Renault Kangoo or Volkswagen Caddy. Even in this standard L1 Partner model, you'll find that you're able to get two Euro pallets in here thanks to a useful 1,230mm between the wheel arches, payload permitting of course. Now on that subject, payload capacity ranges between 641 kilograms and 846 kilograms depending on the variant that you choose. That's competitive with most rivals, though there are some that can take up to 1,000 kilograms. The result is that, as a starting point, an L1 spec Partner can swallow 3.3 cubic metres. With its extra 248mm of body length, the L2 version can increase that figure to 3.7 cubic metres. This variant also coming complete with twin sliding side doors. Now, I mention these figures only as a starting point because provided you've avoided entry-level trim, your Partner will be fitted out with the clever Multiflex modular seating system, which will enable you to fold the middle seat and also flatten this outer seat into the floor so that you can poke longer items through into the cab. That increases your loading length to 3,000mm in the L1 model and 3,250mm in the L2 version. As a result, total carriage capacity can be up to 3.7 cubic metres in this L1 model, or as much as 4.1 cubic metres in the lengthened L2 body style. On to running costs. Now, the advantage of choosing the more modern Blue HDI diesel engine becomes readily apparent here. Though the efficiency returns of the older Euro 5 75 brake horsepower and 92 brake horsepower HDI units aren't too bad, expect 56.5 miles to the gallon on the combined cycle. In a Blue HDI 100 variant, you can expect 67.3 miles to the gallon on the combined cycle, thanks in part to an S&S stop-start system that cuts the engine when you don't need it, stuck in traffic or waiting at the lights. Blue HDI technology has an even bigger effect when it comes to CO2 efficiency, the figure falling from just over 130 grams per kilometre with the older HDI engine to 110 grams per kilometre if you go for a manual Blue HDI 100 model. Peugeot's improved Partner van has become cleverer and more sophisticated while still retaining the practicality that has made it an LCV favourite. The option of Blue HDI engine technology should make a big difference to running costs. And if you get yourself a variant with the clever 7-inch infotainment screen inside, then your little compact van will feel very up-to-date indeed. Overall then, what are we looking at? A sensible business partner? Well, that's one way of putting it. You might, though, prefer to simply see this model in the way that many owners do, as their right-hand van.